kind of ending did you want? So we see the ending of the story of Pearl Girl. It ends in a way that leaves us questioning what happened to Yan. What happened to Yan Zi Jin? And I strongly think that he didn't make it. I strongly think he did not make it because the whole time the show was hinting that he could not find the cure for the poison, and so that means he wouldn't have made it. And it's sad to think, but I think they gave us a gentle, subtle exit of Yan because it would have hit us hard at the ending. We wouldn't want a typical sad ending. So even at the end, it shows us that Daewoo said 40 years. She has been in business for 40 years. This is like from the time she went on Yan's convoy all the way till the last scene. That would be 40 years approximately. That means Daewoo is telling us about, she's looking back on her life. She's old at this point, but they didn't show us what she looks like then. But she is old at this stage, and she is looking back on her life, and she has managed to build a life for herself. She's managed to build a legacy. She has her own caravan convoy. As you see, she's now a fully fledged trader. She's traveling, she's fulfilling her dreams, she's living and breaking the norms of the societal norms and societal expectations. So Daewoo is done so well for herself. And what I like is Yan supported Daewoo so much. He loved her so much. He supported her so much. He is that typical man, not even typical man. He is the man who was willing to celebrate the love of his life. He celebrated her because because that's his nature. He celebrated her success. He celebrated her win. He was constantly encouraging her, teaching her about business, teaching her how to negotiate contracts, how to write contracts, strategies for business. And she ended up being competitors with even the big shots, not just the small businesses, but she was now handling government contracts. She ended up becoming the head of the jewelry, the national jewelry, what do they call it? I can't remember the title. And though she handed it to Sweet Jin, which is another interesting character in the story. But she wanted a clear mind. She wanted to travel, so she didn't want to be tied down. She wanted location independence, so she was able to still continue traveling and exploring and becoming the fullest version of herself. So I think the ending, although we just see the disappearance of Yan, we don't get a clear like what happened to him. But I think that's not the point. The point is these two people had childhood traumas. Yan and Daewoo, they had childhood traumas, and they both managed to support each other. They managed to become the better versions, the best versions of themselves. Yan practically completed his life's mission, which wasn't much. His life's mission was mainly to get the revenge of his family for the destruction of his family, and he got it. He got the revenge for his family, and then he also got justice to some extent, and he was also able to protect the love of his life as much as he could. So Yan and Daewoo were not clinging onto each other. They were not clinging onto each other. In fact, they were not even dependent on each other, which is something that we see a lot today when in relationships we think that love is depending on one another. Love is completing each other. And in this case, that was not how it was. The love was encouraging each other to become the best version of yourself in your capacity. That was what this love was all about. And this is how I would translate this love. Yan supported and encouraged Daewoo and Daewoo was also there supporting, being his strength as well when he needed her at that time. And she also did her very best even to try to find the cure, but you know, she did that behind the scenes. But unfortunately, they did what they could do. There were some situations within their control and other situations not in their control. And so that is life. That is life. Life, sometimes there are situations you can control. So this whole series teaches you to take control of the direction of your life. And then there are also some situations which are not in your control, like sickness or death. And that is what I got from this series, which I think is a very, very good series to watch and learn from.